This is episode 663. And today we're going to be finishing up the 4 C's of mental strength with the last, but not the last in order or priority, just the last one we'll be covering, which is confidence, and specifically unshakable confidence. Confidence is a very, very potent catalyst and almost a driving force that propels individuals to face challenges, which was one of our other C's, with unwavering self-assurance. So I hope you're going to be able to see how these 4 C's blend together. One supports the other. Without one, the other one can't go stronger, right? We have commitment, challenge, confidence, and commitment. So confidence is just not a superficial belief like, oh yeah, I think I can do it. It is a deep-seated conviction. I know I will do it. That one possesses the skills, resilience, adaptability, even communications needed to navigate life's complexities. In this exploration, I love exploration. I love exploring. I love adventures. And so when we look at mental strength if we look at it as an adventure, we can then explore the component of confidence. And as we unravel the very profound impact of self-assurance on personal growth, resilience, and the pursuit of success. So let's dive right into it. So one of the things about unshakable confidence is the power of self-belief, right? At the core of confidence in mental strength lies a profound self-belief. It's hard to describe, but it's easy to feel, right? When we have self-belief, and ultimately confidence comes down to, this is my interpretation, is that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. If you know you'll be okay, then you could go after everything because I'll be okay. The Stoics talked about expecting the best and preparing for the worst. So it's not negative thinking, but if the worst happens, what are you going to do? Okay, I'll do this instead. Then you'll be okay, right? So we want to look at, it's this confidence is an unshakable conviction that irrespective of external circumstances, you have the competency and capacity to overcome challenges and to be okay. And again, if we can just rest with that, no matter what happens, I'll be okay. That is a fantastic sense of confidence. It doesn't sound confident, right? It's not boastful. It's not screaming. It's not pounding on the chest and saying, oh, I can do it. I can do it. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do this. And no matter what happens, I'll be okay. And that is such a good feeling to be centered in. So then we talk about positive self-talk, right? Confidence is not solely about external validation, like you walked on fire or you climbed a mountain or you did something externally. It's also about your internal dialogue, right? It's what are you saying to yourself every day about the challenges that you meet, about the conflicts that you meet. Mentally strong individuals engage in positive self-talk, cultivating an inner narrative that reinforces their capabilities and resilience. And this positive self-talk isn't just when it's raining, like, oh, there's always sunshine in my life. It's like, okay, it's raining. This is going to be great for the grass. We acknowledge what is, but we find some positive aspect in that, as opposed to not seeing what is and painting it over. And so this positive self-talk, it sneaks up. The negative self-talk sneaks up. You're in traffic and you start cursing at the traffic. Is that positive self-talk? Probably not. It probably doesn't support you in what you want to go. So then you go, what's good about this? Well, maybe there's a podcast you wanted to listen to. Maybe there's some friends that you've wanted to call, hands-free, of course, and talk to. So with everything, we just want to have this positive self-talk about the situations. And then embracing failures as stepstones. In NLP, we talk about there is no failure, only feedback. And with the feedback, we then can correct and continue. So confidence within the context of mental straight is not immune to failure, but rather it transfers the perception of failure. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change, right? Wayne Dyer. So when we can use failure not as failure, not as the only time you achieve failure is when you stop. It's when you give up. But even then, it may not be failure because it could be that the path you were on wasn't meant for you and you had to stop and go to another path. As long as you keep moving, right? But we want to make sure that when we get a result, I mean, we have to have challenge, right? So failure could be looked at as challenge, and that's one of the C's of mental strength. So when we have a challenge and it takes a lot out of us, it takes the commitment to get through that challenge, then we can exude that confidence. So it transforms the perception of what we're facing. Mentally strong individuals view failures not as a reflection of inadequacy or lack of skills or lack of talent, but as a temporary setback on the path of success. If we didn't have setbacks, we wouldn't have grit, we wouldn't have resilience, we wouldn't have determination, because all of those imply facing something, facing a challenge, facing a failure, facing an obstacle, all of those terms which we so love to embrace until we have to do it in real life. But when we look at this using failures as stepping stones, because the failure or the challenge is there for you to grow as an individual. You need to grow in your confidence. You need to grow in your commitment. You need to grow in your control. You need to grow in all those 4 C's. And this quote, failure, unquote, its job is to do just that, is make you grow. Also with confidence comes adaptability and learning. True confidence in mental strength is marked by adaptability and commitment to continuous learning. Again, looking back at NLP and seeing how much all of these things are connected, is that we need to have behavioral flexibility. That could be adaptability. If we stay stuck on one path, fixed mindset, we aren't going to be able to, when we have that confidence, we're going to know, oh, I have to adapt and move in this direction. I'm confident. But if we lack the confidence, we're going to point ourselves in one direction and stay with it because that's all we know. Fixed mindset again. But with true confidence, we can go, oh, here's a path I was going to take. It looks like it's not going to work out. Let me come over to this other path. Growth mindset. So we want to be able to be flexible, adaptable in our commitment and to continuous learning. Again, that's part of the growth mindset. If we stop learning, we stop growing. We want to be able to learn new things, especially now where things are just changing so quickly in relation to personal growth, into personal development, into self-mastery, into stress and fatigue. Things are changing so quickly. We need to continuously learn. And speaking of which, this is one of the reasons why I developed the Corporate Warrior Training Program, is to help professionals learn how to handle stress, how to eliminate it, how to manage their day, how to create their ideal day so that they have time for the things they want to do physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that is the sole purpose of developing the Corporate Warrior Training Program. And you can find that if you go to the blog post here, you can find a link to it as well, or email me and I'll be happy to send you the link for that as well. But confident individuals acknowledge that the landscape of challenge is ever changing. It is always changing, and it's great. And that adaptability is a key factor in navigating the complexities of life with poise and assurance. It's like we know it's going to change. The rivers are always changing. The ocean is always changing. The beach is always changing. Traffic is always changing. Everything is always changing. It's changing consistently. And when we are confident in ourselves, we then can adapt and flow with it. It's kind of like go with the flow, but not necessarily, because go with the flow means we're just kind of floating around. But adaptability means we zig and zag, but keep the same direction ahead of us. And then also courage in the face of uncertainty, right? So where you have confidence and courage go hand in glove. Mental strength requires that the courage to face uncertainty with confidence. Again, getting back to no matter what happens, I'll be okay. Because every day we do face uncertainty. It may not be significant, but we face it. And we go, oh, if this happens, if this road closed, I'll just take the detour. We're confident we know alternate routes to go to our destination, whether it's using our phone or just we know it by heart. But we are able to use courage in a sense and know that we'll be okay. Confidence allows individuals to step into the unknown with a belief in their ability to learn, adapt, and overcome whatever challenges arise. And again, notice how one of the C's in mental strength was challenge. We want to continuously challenge ourselves. And when we come out the other side, which we always do, we then can look back on it and build our confidence. And when we have more confidence, we can then challenge ourselves a little bit more. So these both go hand in glove, and they support each other. But if you think you're going to have a certain life, I will share that, be uncertain about that. Tony Robbins talks about the 4 needs. We need certainty and we need variety. So we need to be certain we're going to have variety. And when we know that, we can face life with the, hey, no matter what happens, I'll be okay attitude. Body language and presence, confidence, right? You can see when you look at somebody walking in the room like they own the room, you know they have confidence. When they're walking on the street, you know they have confidence. It looks like they're in a rush to go someplace. They walk so confidently and with a speed and tempo that is like, I have something to do. I'm confident I'm going to get it done. And confidence manifests not only in thoughts and beliefs, but also in body language and presence. For some people, to give a presentation for the first time, they may not have the confidence, and so their shoulders come forward, their voice goes lower, their head goes down. And we can practice that. We can create confidence by standing or sitting up straight, looking people in the eye. We can manifest it through our physiology. Mentally strong individuals exude confidence through their posture, their gestures, and the way they carry themselves. You can look at one of the great things about NLP is modeling, where you can find a character, whether in real life or fictitious, and see the way they walk, see the way they talk, see that, and then start to practice that on yourself. Mirror it, mimic it, whatever, until it becomes part of you. It's just like a habit. Confidence, in one sense, can be considered a habit, but we have to practice the body language that goes with it. We have to practice the words that are associated with confidence. We have to practice the breathing that comes with confidence, the eye contact, the handshakes. We have to practice that until it becomes a habit, becomes second nature. So just keep in mind, as we navigate this intrinsic dance of life, cultivating unshakable confidence becomes this lighthouse, this guiding beacon, guiding us through the ebbs and flow of life. And, that's kind of like an ocean, right? A lighthouse is our confidence, and we're a boat on the ocean, and it gets dark and foggy. We don't know what to do. We have this lighthouse of confidence to help us, point us in the right direction. So embrace confidence as the catalyst for mental strength, and then you'll be able to, not be able to, but then you will develop the other 3 C's with it. For within it, embrace lies the power to face challenges with a steadfast, isn't that a great word, steadfast? You're always there. Belief in one's capacity to thrive and succeed. Confidence means no matter what happens, I'll be okay. That can be okay successfully, or that can be okay maybe not so successfully, but either way, you'll be okay. If you like this podcast and want to see the show notes on it, you can go over to warriormindcoach.com. There you can find more information on more podcasts, blog posts, also the Corporate Warrior Training Program, and a way to contact me for a breakthrough session. Since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.